Welcome into the Pop Culture Pile Driver. I am Jason Rossi. You can find me on Twitter at Jason D. Rossi. And with me, as always, is my tag team partner in the podcast sphere. He goes by the handle of Billy D2411. It's Billy D. What's going on?
Hello. What's up, you handsome pasty devil, you? Well, you're actually looking a little tan there.
Oh, you know what it is? I have a backlight for once.
Oh, you got the hair light.
Yeah, so well, it's a computer screen for now. I'm working on it. Listen, I got this fancy background that you can see my wife's. For those watching on YouTube, my wife did a paint night of my cat a couple of years ago. So that's there. You got some Drew Bledsoe, McFarland. Yeah, we're stepping up the game by 1%. I was called out actually with you and some of the ventures we're doing over on DraftKings. So people saying you got to dress it up a little bit because you have a nice little setup back there.
I try, but it's not that great. Oh, we got Dr. Joe already in the chat, so people are already joining us in. I am super excited for this one, but I know we have some business to take care of first. So, Rossi, what's on your mind?
Oh, look at you. For me, Bill, I will start off. So we're kind of a new segment, but not really. It's this podcast kind of developed from it was called Rossi on Wrestling. We're huge wrestling guys. We talked about wrestling all the time. I can literally talk about wrestling all day, every day. So with that, let's start off with this. It's gonna be a Rossi Wrestling Minute. It's literally just gonna be 60 seconds. So some people may care, some people may not. It's not like the Davey minute where obviously he's more entertaining. There's a lot more stuff. So here it is. It's going to be legit 60 seconds. You can mark your clock. If you're listening to this in the podcast, I'm going to edit myself if I go over a minute, but I will start now. All right, Bill. So I will say with this, I don't know if you watch any of this NXT, but you know the name, you know the man, Pat McAfee, who was a punter for the Colts, became a radio guy, a barstool dude. He was all over the place, is now entered into the wrestling ring, Bill. And he was awesome.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I saw some of the highlights. I am not the wrestling fan I once was. I didn't actually see really anything but highlights, but it was great.
Yeah, he was really good. Like, there's great debuts. People talk about Ronda Rousey. Really, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. Like, Kurt Angle is another one that people really touted. Now, he was Kurt Angle-esque. Now, I know. He was also in there with a guy by the name of Adam Cole. One of the best. Yeah, baby. Who's one of the best in the business. So, He was given a leg up there, but Pat McAfee, really impressed by him. They also, WWE just introduced the Thunderdome. So for people like yourself that I think, have been kind of turned off, like obviously the pandemic's screwed up everything in the world, but wrestling specifically with no crowds, it's just a different atmosphere, right?
Yeah, I mean, totally. That kind of got me out of it. Watching WrestleMania with the Jobberknocker crew, one of the podcasts we listened to, was great because it gave you that feel like you were in the crowd, but I just couldn't get into Monday Night Raw, and I hate Seth Rollins, and he's everywhere.
Oh, man. No, aside from that, the Thunderdome has really stepped it up. They have screens all across the arena. It really helps with the visual. Except one thing, and this will wrap it up. There was somebody wearing a Ku Klux Klan getup that got caught on screen last night on Monday Night Raw. So WWE had to put out a statement. My point is, don't be racist. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, and we got Ron Von D checking in as well here, as you just mentioned him with the Davies Wrestling Minute, or Davies Video Game Minute. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
We'll switch.
Yeah, I don't think that would go as swimmingly. Although maybe so.
I broke some news. I saw the news today of Samoa Joe going to be voicing King. Oh, Bill, but this is awesome, playing King. King Shark in the video game of the Suicide Squad. That's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be excellent.
He's a great voice. He's got that kind of raspy, villainous voice. His theme song, like you said, is like a Mario 2 boss when they come out of the screen.
Absolutely.
And I'll just get to my thing.
Yeah,
what's on my mind is Madden, and it's been on my mind, all the time. It's basically become my life. I spend a minimum probably of 4 hours a day, no lie, either making trades, doing games for work, or just playing, in our league. I accidentally was chirping about Mac to a friend of ours, JC of the Jobberknocker, being like, I think I can finally beat him. Like Estelle in the Seinfeld episode. I think you can take him this time, Georgie. But we got a new Madden on the way, our Madden season of 2028, I believe, or 2027.
Will that be the final of the old?
That will be the final until we all get up to speed. I actually just downloaded Madden 21, playing it. My first pass, my patented seam route to Hollywood Brown, went for 60 yards. Next time, tried to hit it, picked off. Lamar fumbled 3 times on my first 2 runs, 3 times on my first 3 runs with him. So That's still the same, but I'm super excited. The Madden League is probably one of the best things I've been involved with in a long time. It's better than, I will say, it's as good as Hunts at its height.
Oh, I'm not.
It is. That's
such a personal thing. I'm not getting into
it.
I can't judge it. I can't judge it. And I feel like that's hyperbole if I've ever heard it. But I don't know because I can't judge it. Not involved. So it could be whatever it is. Bill's talking about Madden. Who the hell knows what's going on in life? But no, it is true. No, go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is did you hear Dork?
No, well, at the end. We'll get to it at the end.
Oh,
that's part of our This Week in Dork. Listen, I will just say, it's rightfully so. I can't wait. How can I deny that? It was such an interesting question, but we'll get to it. All right. So, well, also, if you're tuning into us at this point, you can check us out wherever you find podcasts. We're not on there. By the way, Google Music is now introducing podcasts. Ooh. I got an email from the host that we use, Podomatic.com. So we'll be on Google Music soon. That's one of my actually choice of streaming service. But yeah, so that will be out there. But everywhere you get podcasts, please put it out there. Let people know about us. If you like a topic, please share. Trying to spread the word. You can find us on Twitter at PopCulturePD. I'm not even going to bother with the Strive for 105. It's just embarrassing at this point. Like 99, it's just sitting there. We'll take all the advice.
I love the nines. Who doesn't like the 99 restaurant?
Oh, always come back. Always come back for more. Great meme going around the internet as Red Sox. We live in Red Sox country. For a long time, the 99 fed kids for free when the Red Sox won. Red Sox were on a 9-game losing streak. They're not doing that this year, by the way.
I used to go at least twice a week so often, and I would always get the turkey club, and I would leave the crust just because they had like that weird crust there. And eventually the waitress started cutting the crust off for me.
That's when you know. But this meme, Bill, it was just showed the 99 feed kids after a Red Sox win, and it was like the effing kids are starving because the Red Sox literally didn't win for like a 15-day stretch.
I mean, that's another thing. Baseball. I mean, if you're a fan of baseball at this point, what are we doing here? What are you doing? Like, come on.
There's some good stuff out there. No, Trevor Bauer. Not. Have you been watching Trevor Bauer for the Reds?
They trashed the guy who had a friggin' pimped a home run, his second grand slam.
They did. Some jerk. Yeah, the Tatis Jr. is everything right about baseball. Yes. You hit a home run. I don't care if it's a 3-0 pitch and you're up by 1,000. These are professionals that get paid. Just to tie in, I know we have some new people joining us, listening now through these DK streams you were talking about with DraftKings. And like, if I get paid, or if you get paid to do something for like DraftKings, or you're going to do it to the best of your ability all the time, right? So why should professional baseball players, these unwritten rules, write down the rules, or they don't
get paid for your fucking stats?
That's it. Yeah, that could be a contract.
And a home run.
Yeah, and he smashed it, and good for him. But yeah, all that criticism is absolutely ridiculous, Bill. I completely agree with you there. But Bill, our main event today is the year 1983. You know, some real important things happened that year, right?
The year of my birth?
Oh. A couple mistakes as well.
Well, definitely that, yeah.
No, you're not that much. If you had a big separation from children age,
so actually now quick story.
Please.
I was like a stillborn fetus for like a day. They thought I was dead, and they were about to like literally vacuum me out, and the doctor was like, "We're gonna check one more time on the ultrasound," and I was kicking. I swear to God, my mother tells the story all the time.
You kicked out in 2.5.
Yes, like 2 and like 7/8. 2 and 9/10.
Two. The ref had to go let the crowd know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting and sad, but yeah, we're glad to have you here, Bill. Wouldn't want you anywhere else. Not on the vacuum.
Oh, God.
Awkward. All right, 1983, Bill. Here's some stats and facts for you from that year. 1983 was the year of the pig in the Chinese zodiac. So take that for what it's worth. The average cost of a new house. Want to take a stab?
I'm going to say $128,000.
$82,600 was your average cost for a new home.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh.
On HBO, which I didn't even know was a thing in the 80s, Fraggle Rock debuted.
Ooh, I love Fraggle Rock.
I was more of a Muppets guy, but Fraggle Rock, looking back, was way better for the fact of like the music aspect of it.
What is a Muppet? Not quite a puppet. No,
but a Muppet.
It's just a Simpsons reference.
Then you know what else debuted over in our friends in Japan? Mario Brothers.
Ooh, and that was the game that was too hot for America, so they dull it down. So that's
that was Mario 2. That was 2. No, this is
that was supposed to be Mario 2.
Yes. So the very
and then we got the great Mario 2, which I fucking love.
I'm with you there. That's
Princess just floating with her dress. Kidding me?
And Toadstool, useless. Also, the final episode of MASH aired, Bill, to 125 million people watching. In 1983,
that was the final episode? Holy shit.
Yeah, in 1983, that was a 70s show. The big toy that year, Bill, was the Cabbage Patch Dolls.
I didn't have one, but my sister definitely had like 2 or 3.
When I grew up, they were all over my house. I have 2 older sisters. There was Cabbage Patch, everything, you name it, like Binkies, bassinets, crap was everywhere. Wasn't fun as a boy to play with. I wrestled.
Yeah, you needed a lunch pail kid.
Yeah, those were the best, dude. And my sisters hated it because they actually some of them had a scent to them. They had like a scratch and sniff thing that came with them. They weren't a fan. Sports champions that year, Bill. You want to take a stab at the 4 majors?
1983. I'm going to say the Edmonton Oilers, probably 100%, right?
Nope.
Get the fuck out of here. Canadians?
Nope.
Oh, shit. I have no idea for hockey then.
All right. Hockey was the New York Islanders last championship they won.
Oh, that's fair. Basketball,
Yep.
Lakers or Celtics?
76ers. Moses
God
Malone.
Damn it. All right. Football, 1983.
Yes, this was the 83 Super Bowl I went with, not the 83 season technically.
Oh, so...
Not like you're going to be able to get it anyways.
I'm going to say the Raiders?
Oh, almost. Wait, what was that? What team?
The Raiders.
Oh, I think the Redskins, now Washington.
Oh, was that Doug
team.
Williams?
Doug Williams? No, I think he was in 89.
He was later. Yeah.
He was like 89. Still Joe Gibbs. And then in baseball, Bill, here's another random one. These are all kind of random.
Dodgers?
The Orioles.
What?
Yep. I couldn't tell. This has to be their last World Series and way before Camden Yards. All right. Number 1 movie that year, Bill.
No clue.
Star Wars: The Return of the Jedi.
All right.
All right. While we're here, though, we're entering the song into our jukebox. We did 1999. The song put in there was I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys, as nominated by Billy D. This year in music, Bill, the highest selling album of the year was Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I mean, of course, it's probably the greatest album of all time for solid hit, every single one of them. Every one of them was a monster hit.
Grammy of the year. Grammy for record of the year, not song of the year. We'll get to that. Record of the year was Beat It by Michael Jackson. Grammy for song of the year was Every Breath You Take by The Police.
Yeah.
And album of the year, also Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I mean, it literally probably has, 7 banging tracks. Every single one of them's awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you my Michael Jackson take in a second, but I'm just going to run down. We'll talk about him here before we even get to our favorite songs or songs that stood out to us, because the way we do these, the rules are simple. It is the top 100 hot 100 from that particular year.
The Billboard chart.
Billboard, sorry, thank you. Billboard chart, top 100. We can nominate any song on there. We could talk about any song, but to be nominated to get into the jukebox, got to be on that hot 100. And we got some takes from the shared Gooniverse we'll give you. But Bill, the top 10 from 1983. And spoiler ahead, maybe some of these songs might get nominated. We'll see. Number 10 was the Eurythmics. Sweet Dreams Are Made of These.
I mean, you can just rip through these because I don't want to give any takes when we get to
all right, fine. Maniac by Michael. I always say it right. Is it Sembello?
I think it's Sembello.
Yeah, okay. So Michael Sembello, Maniac. We did our review of Tommy Boy, famous scene in there. Baby Come to Me from Patty Austin and James Ingram. I'll be honest, don't know the song.
I mean, I've listened to the Spotify 100 a bunch of times, so I'm sure it's come on, but it might be one of the ones I skipped quickly.
Hall & Oates, Man Eater at number 7, number 6. Oh, and also great video of Jaws. They have like a whole when YouTube, like everyone was making creative videos. Hall & Oates, Man Eater to a Jaws highlight. Great. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And
Bonnie 6. Taylor, right?
Yeah, her too. Her cousin played too.
Dan Band does a great remake.
I sure do. Dan Band does a great almost everything.
They're awesome.
I would say. They really are. Number 5, Beat It, Michael Jackson. Number 4, Down Under, Men at Work, with the best use of the word Vegemite in a song. Number 3 is Flashdance, What a Feeling by Irene Cara. Number 2 was Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. And number 1 song for 1983, not off the Thriller album, but they did win a Grammy. It's Every Breath You Take by The Police, or as other people know it as these days, that song that Puff Daddy used when Biggie died.
Yes, and there's actually a few of those songs where Puffy used in this. There's a few songs from Tommy Boy on this list as well. I mean, this is it's the greatest decade ever, the 80s. I'm just going to go out and state that. I mean, it's got everything. It's got music, it's got fashion, it's got hot dog on a stick. Like, what else do you want from a decade? It's got fucking everything. I was born in this exact year. And this year, I think, after listening to, and you can go on Spotify and get the top 100 for the Billboard for any year. Yep. So that's fucking awesome, and that's what I've been doing. I think this is better than 99, and I thought 99 was an unstoppable powerhouse of a year. And this is better.
When you first said it, I was like, "You're insane." 99, like, because obviously it was just our, our coming of age year, if you would. But I then looked at this list. I was talking to my wife about it, who isn't the biggest 80s fan, but she was telling me, she's like, "Oh, this." But then as I looked, so I was trying to keep us to both speaking about, maybe I was trying to make it like, because we're a top 11.
God, no.
I'm like 5.5 each, and like the 2 at the bottom are the songs we nominate. Bill's like, "I'm blowing through that." I said, "Okay, let's change the format a little bit. We'll talk. It's a discussion. It's a podcast. That's what we're here for." But this year might be the biggest sleeper year in the history of music.
I mean, there are so many songs, and what a lot of the people from the Gooniverse, and I don't think it's on any of our lists, but Davey brought up Kajagoogoo, Too Shy.
Oh, it's on my list. It's on my list.
Sorry, spoiler.
No,
all right, but
okay.
That song is a banger, and it's one of like the kind of forgotten tracks. And I kind of took the advice of Goo, who told us when you do these things, they do the Groovy Vault, to kind of pick your favorites. And I picked the songs that really, for my 2, that I fucking love, like that are like my playlist for summertime, for workout, for whatever. I could listen to these songs any time of day.
Little Jergens. Yeah, I'm with you as well. I went with definitely the 2 songs that stand out to me of just my favorite songs from this year that are some of my favorite songs of all time. As we rip through, Bill, we can go back and forth here with songs that are on our like just favorites in no order. But you did mention Kajagoogoo, and I'll start with that because Too Shy, first of all, what? Yeah, what just a fun song. And like, you don't know the name of the song. You just think of shy, hush, hush, and that guy's hairdo, like it. So the one thing I'll say about 1983, if you want to find a year that defines the 80s sound, it's this year, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, you crazy." Wait till we go back and forth with these songs. But since you said Davey brought up, I'll start there. Kajagoogoo, absolutely on my must-have 1983 song.
Yeah, I mean, it's a banger of a song. I will go to mine. I think it was used in The Wedding Singer quite nicely. Musical Youth, Past the Dochi. Finally Left Ponson. It's just kind of a fun song. They're like young kids singing about, passing drugs around. Yeah, it's a great use of it in The Wedding Singer. I think like the ridiculous limo driver does it when he's doing the test. I had to have it on my list because in high school we had a challenge to make the most ridiculous CD. And I had some songs on it, like Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time. Oh, and then our good friend, Anthony, I'd never heard this song before. And I'm kind of like a retro kid. I liked a lot of the songs, but he put this on there and it blew my friggin' mind.
Yeah, I will go next. I will go with the song that also just, when you think of proms, if we were in high school in the 80s, this song would have been all over it. You think of probably even some wedding songs. It's... True. I always say this wrong. Is it Spandau Ballet?
Spandau Ballet.
I believe so. Okay. But True, that, like right now you might not know the song. It's that "This much is true." I can't hit those notes. But
great episode of Modern Family, by the way, where they get Kaiser Sose to be like the guy from Spandau Ballet because he thinks because Claire thinks that's the song that they had for their wedding when it was Orchestral Maneuvers in the Night or something.
OMD, If You Leave. I remember the episode well. Great. But this song is like the romantic song of the year. By the way, I got to give a shout. So Davey in the chat say that this is the guy who did the song to the Neverending Story, who is Kajagoogoo, which is true. And the best scene, and maybe the only really good scene of the entire season 3 of Stranger Things was when they're singing.
Oh, no. I mean, a lot of people have hated season 3 of Stranger Things, and I'll just take this time.
That was the best scene.
It was a great scene. Awesome. And they kind of build it up the whole time, like George Glass, kind of like he doesn't really have a girlfriend the whole time. But the last 5 episodes of Hopper in season 3 is some of the best friggin' shit you'll ever see out of any actor. He crushed it. I hated the shit when he was all over 11 in the beginning, but the last few episodes, right when they meet the dude, the foreign guy, is out of control good. He's he's my hero.
Well, True either way is the romantic song of the 80s, is probably one of the best romantic songs ever written, at least produced. It's so cheesy love, and it's just, I could picture just sipping on a nice iced tea playing that, or as well just making sweet love to that song.
Yeah, it's a great one. Really good pick to get on there. It's one of the ones I would have put on there, but I'm going to go with, it's basically dance rocky. It's not, I think it's Staying Alive, right? Far From Over, Frank Stallone. It just starts. Terrible song, but I love it.
I was just going to say, piece of crap song.
He's a terrible singer. What's the South Park thing? Frank Stallone can't hit a high F or something?
Yeah.
But it's one of those gym songs I'll put on every once in a while. How Did This Get Made? One of my favorite podcasts does this movie. And Rafi from the league, I forget his real name off the top of my head.
Jason
Mantzoukas. He's like, that's how I have sex. The beginning, the first 10 seconds of that song. But it's just like one of those good bad songs that I would put on like a good bad CD.
For me, next, Bill, it's a song I want played at my funeral. It is a song that I believe is about death, but it's a song that always puts a big old smile on my face just by the synth keys. Joe Jackson, Stepping Out. What?
Such a terrible song.
Oh, I love this song so much. This is one of those, when LimeWire in like those days, I didn't know. I just knew like, is she really going out with him? Which I think is an excellent song. Is the best opening line. Pretty women walking down walking with gorillas down my street. Awesome line. So I'm like, what else does Joe Jackson do? Found this song and freaking love it. That absolutely needs to be played at my funeral. Absolutely needs to be on my 1983's playlist. I didn't know this from 83. I thought this was later. Like, that's another thing. It sounds like that was like late.
Oh, there's a ton of these songs that I think they're trying to have that endless love feel to. They're just, they tried to write like the greatest romantic love song of all time. And you can kind of see like super creativity seeping into these songs. Like creativity, I think, is on like the come up in the early 80s. And there was so many like just cheesy ass, like I think, what is it, Eddie Rabbit with that's a fucking terrible song. But I get why it was popular in the 1980s because you're still in that like 70s shitty love ballad form. But I did hear that on my bike ride today and I was like, all right, it's kind of okay.
Oh, it's good. Stepping Out. Into the Light, Bill. Come on. It just makes you feel good. If you want to just feel good, put on Joe Jackson, Stepping Out. You're having a tough day. I had a tough day today. I'm listening to that after this.
I'll bang out two in a row real quick, just because I thought Naked Eyes was always a one-hit wonder, and I forgot that they sang Promises, Promises, which is a really good song. It's a solid one, but I'm going to go to, out of the 18 that I ranked, number 15, it's the St. Louis Blues, I believe, goal song, Gloria by Laura Branigan. This song fucking rocks.
Absolutely.
The way she sings Gloria, she's got a set of lungs on her. The pipes on this girl are unreal.
R.I.P.
Is it R.I.P.?
She's long gone. Pick the other person's spot.
Slightly like a sneaky cutie too. I watched the video.
No. Google her. Don't forget about the video. Straight sex cat. And also, this song has the most over-the-top ridiculous horns towards the end of this song.
It's so good, though.
But they come out of nowhere. It's obviously digitally, not real horn section. This 80s, with the beginning, late 70s started, the real synth and where it got in the 80s. Over-the-top ridiculous horns you'll ever hear in a song. And obviously being a gigantic Bruins fan, die hard last year, wanted to see them win the cup. But with the Blues, they were so damn likable using this song as their like winning anthem. And I couldn't hate on that.
I mean, my mom thinks the 80s is the worst decade of music ever.
So is my wife.
Yeah, I love the 80s. I love the music. And I've said this several times. I don't want to be like Billy from Stranger Things in the way that he was kind of like a bad person. But the way he looked, his hair, and him banging all the hot moms, that's the kind of guy I like if I could choose to do life over again. If I could be that like muscle car driving dude with a really badass mullet in the 80s, that's what I would be. But I'd be playing some hair metal, but I'd also be playing Laura Branigan.
So my two, we'll just go 2 for 2 then, because we have a little bit, then we'll give you our nominees who are actually getting tossed in. These are songs we just like there. That shows how competitive it was. For me, my 2 will be Elton John, I'm Still Standing. Elton John, now, is one of those artists that you can go up and down his music, his discography, hits, smashes, ballads, everything. But there's something about this song that, again, this is the most 80s song I think he has. This is before he became like the love ballad guy in the 90s. This song is just fun. It's another just fun ass song. And you know what? If you're feeling down, put this one on.
I listened to this in the let's say the 2015 to 16 range for a while
because you were still standing.
Yeah, I'm still standing. It's a great just motivational type song. I think it's a perfectly composed mini type. It's not like a super super pop song, but it has that feel to it. And famously, it's not this song, but I think it was in the same-ish era. Alligator Rock. Just tell the story real quick. One of the greatest nights of my life. We were playing Seen It, but the music version.
Yeah,
and one of our friends,
which, by the way, pause real quick. Me and Bill will take anybody on any day. We smoke in that game. I spoke in most of those scenic games, but this one specifically, we dominated. But.
Oh, absolutely. And we also have to take on Davey and Keith in WrestleMania or No Mercy because we are also the tag team champions. They are the tag team champions. But there was a reptile-type looking creature on a slab of what looked to be a rock. And one of our friends kept saying, alligator rock, alligator rock. Alligator rock. It was like that thing from Family Guy. Jackal? Jackal?
Yeah, Jackal.
It wasn't right the first time, and he couldn't get through his head that it was crocodile.
That he was not, and that he wasn't right. First of all, he was just, you have 30 seconds, and it's on the TV counting down. He's like, alligator rock.
And he just kept
alligator rock.
Louder.
And he was like yelling at it. He's like, guys, it's alligator rock, alligator rock, alligator rock. It's like, no, it's not. And then we go, crocodile rock, Jesus. What? And he's like, oh. And that was it. It's just like, you were just screaming alligator rock. You were so passionate. Now all of a sudden, I couldn't believe that was embarrassing. That was so bad.
All right, so I'll rip off.
Oh, let me get my other one, my twofer, real quick. The other one, a song I would have thought was late 80s, maybe even early 90s. The Tubes, She's a Beauty. Now, Bill, you might be thinking to yourself, that song? What is it? It's that She's a Beauty, one in a million girls. Oh, my God. That's another one of those songs. Crush song. You're feeling it. Maybe you meet a girl. You're scrolling through your Tinder profile. And you're like, And then the Tubes will play in your head. Because every time you see a cute little chick, you're like, boom. She's a beauty. And then you hear that song, montage song, perfect song from the 80s.
Yeah, it's one of those 80s type songs. I'll do a little twofer again to get this going. Our House, Madness. It's a good song. It's a rocking song. It. I always confuse
cheesy as hell.
Yeah, I always think Crowded House sings this song, and I know that's not it. But like it's a good house. Yeah, I think this is a one-hit wonder, right? Our House, Madness.
Madness, yes.
Yeah, so
like
and then
an actual like one-hit wonder. There's probably other like minor hits because the 80s are full of those.
And then we'll go to one of the greatest songs, I think, about a year ever, 1999 by Prince.
Oh.
I love Prince. He is phenomenal. I know Davey said in our musical draft he would have picked him one overall if he could. And I agree with that take. He is so good. This isn't my favorite Prince song. I think my favorite Prince song actually might be Kiss. I like a funky song, and that's super funky. But this one's pretty funky, too. A lot of good, just singing and rhythm. And, you can't go wrong with a Prince song. And this was revolutionary for the time, I think, to create a song 16 years in the making. And this was played ad nauseum before we all thought the world was going to end in 2000.
Y2K, we were getting ready to pack it up. I remember being on my computer, New Year's Eve, 1999. My sister had a computer in her room, and my mom came in and demanded I shut the computer off. I was like, oh, nothing's going to happen. She screamed at me. She's like, listen to me. You have to. She was like getting ready. She was like down pulling wires. Like she was like, you have to. I was like, I guess you got to see what happens. I want to see if the world, like if something crazy going to happen with computers or planes going to fall from the sky, Bill. And as we know, none of that happened until this year.
Davey brings up Let's Go Crazy, by the way, which is probably my second favorite one. That's the one that starts with Dearly Beloved. We are gathered here today to get through this thing called life, electric word life. Means a mighty long time. That's forever. That song also phenomenal. I like any song that. No, that's not Let's Go Crazy.
No, you're all wrong. The best song he did was the Vicky Vale on the Batman '89.
God, no.
The Din with Raspberry Beret, Purple Rain, Electric, Dr. Joe in there.
I was actually looking for my Purple Rain shirt. I could not find it for this.
Little Red Corvette also, I think, was on this year. It was also 1983. Didn't make either one of our lists, but good. Listen, Prince is a GOAT. He's one of the greatest of all time, and he was so protective of his music, which made me love him even more. Like if he didn't die, if he was still with us, you wouldn't be seeing him in all the streaming services. His music wouldn't be used in commercials,
and they wouldn't have released his kind of like work in progress. Stuff.
Absolutely,
I don't think he would have done that.
Not a chance. All right, my next two, Men at Work, who we didn't talk about where they're in the top 3, but Overkill. If you are part of our top 11 scrubs, it was our number 1 episode by Overkill, which we may have to revisit that one day in the future. But just an incredible song. Is someone that, anybody that's ever dealt with any form of anxiety or sleepless nights, that's basically what the song is about. When you're trying to finally get to sleep at the end of the day and all those thoughts come into your head, that's what the song's about. Perfect just depiction of that kind of scenario. And then my next one, Bill, way ahead of its time, The Clash, Rock the Casbah. this song has so much, like there's a part in there where it sounded like polytone ringtone. It's about like 2 minutes and 50 seconds into, or 2 minutes and like 30 seconds into the song. And it just sounds like it's like a cell phone ringing when we were in high school. This song is so great. Obviously got that second revival. I think it might've been the early 2000s with those commercial with like what's the name of the song? Oh, Rock the Cash Box. Yeah. Cash Bar, the cat box. Anyways, it was I don't even know what commercial that was, but everybody remembers that part from it. The Clash, incredibly known for their 70s punk rock. This was completely separated from that. Again, so 80s was this song, but just a great song nonetheless.
I mean, I have to speak my piece on The Clash because they recently probably, I'd have to redo my rankings, but they might have bumped out of my top 5 bands of all time. And they're one of those bands that every song, like they have a couple of like sounds, but they have so many different unique sounds as well. You can listen to a Clash song and you'll be like, is this the Clash? Like Lost in the Supermarket is probably my favorite Clash song. I just think it's a beautifully written piece of music, but they have so many different unique types of music, and them coming out with this one in the 80s with that, all the different kinds of stuff that they did in the 70s. I just love this band. It's one of the bands I wish I could have seen live because they're like all of my bands I've realized kind of have every song is a little different sounding. Like I like Childish Gambino, Kanye West, the White Stripes, Franz Ferdinand. They all have like different, like none of the songs sound exactly the same. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny you bring up Franz Ferdinand because for people, obviously people know that one song, but The Clash and Franz Ferdinand, not that there is any way that you would really put the two together, but like what you said is a perfect way of putting it. All their songs sound a little different, but also sound like them. Like the thing with The Clash was, especially like a song like Radio Clash. And I will also say, I didn't Google it. I can't remember the lead singer off the top of my head, but he has one of the best whale screams like that. Wow. Because it's not over the top. It's not like screamo and it's not like metal. It is just a perfect, and it fits in a pop rock, or as back then the punk rock scene where he wasn't being overly aggressive. Love The Clash. I could talk about him again all day without knowing the lead singer.
We could do a top 11 Clash. I would totally be 100% down for that because I love that freaking band. And now we're getting into the really difficult part. I'll go 2 for again. By the way, I redid my rankings, so 1999 was supposed to be right before all of the other songs.
It's no order, Bill. It's no order.
I know. Duran Duran. I fucking love this band.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons I love the 80s is because of Duran Duran. This band fucking kicks ass. And Hungry Like the Wolf, used in, I think, just about every TV show or every movie, you know, at some point, like lots of movies in the 80s, 90s, and still today. This song is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a fun, not really poppy, kind of rocky. They kind of had a weird sound, I guess. Maybe a little Franz Ferdinand-ish too. Like, I like Rio. I like all of those songs. But this, I think, is the best Duran Duran song. It was really tough for me not to put this in my top probably 2, my final 2. Because it's a go-to karaoke song for me. It's no Hall & Oates Private Eyes, but it's up there.
Oh, Bill, we all know your karaoke song. We all know the actual karaoke song.
It's Hall & Oates Private Eye.
No, it is not. Bill.
Oh, it's Buttercup. It's
Buttercup. But that's a story we'll share another time. Anyway, that was just one. What's your other one?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. This is.
By the way, Hungry Like the Wolf, I'll just say that. One of my favorite songs, definitely from Duran Duran, definitely of this era. But honestly, I didn't even see it on the list. So a complete oversight. Obviously, I'm glad you had it on yours. We aren't duplicating each other's list, by the way. But yes. Completely happy that you had it on there.
All right. So what is this? Now, Trick What? Maysu? That ain't what Mace do. Got a lot of girls that would love to replace you. Tell it to your face, boo, not behind your back. People talk shit. Never mind that. But the better song, besides, you know, Been Around the World by Puff Daddy, Mace, and the Family and all them, is Let's Dance by David Bowie. This song fucking kicks ass. Again, he's another guy who has so many different kind of sounds, like I Love, Young American, and all of those songs. But Let's Dance, again, might be my favorite Bowie song, and I think that's why this is such a fucking unstoppable year.
This year's insane.
This isn't even in my top, and this is a song that I fucking love. I mean, I gotta look at other years in the 80s to see if there's this many of my favorite songs, but this song kicks fucking ass.
Just the background, we were going to do 1980 at one point. Then Bill, you were like, let's do 83. And I was like all prepared for 80. I'm looking at it. Then we looked at 83 and we're texting like, holy smokes. These are like straight fire tracks. Again, we're talking about 1983. And yeah, that's that. David Bowie, Let's Dance. Like, I find David Bowie a great artist, but he has some songs that are so annoying. Young American.
I love it.
But it gnaws on the back of my brain. it's like, oh, it's just because he says like Young American like 5,000 times in that song. But this song is just groovy. It is funky. It's fusion, as we like to say here on the pod. It's got everything going on. And
it'll be one of my next few wedding songs, probably.
I dig it. You mentioned Naked Eyes earlier. I'll go with the smash hit from Naked Eyes. Always something there to remind me. That song, it's become more of an advert song now. Like you just see it in advertising. But just absolute like jam. Like there's not much I could say about it. It's just a freaking smash. And want to know, Bill, my next couple songs I think are like the definition of like 80s music. I'll start with this one. Tony Basil, Mickey. Like, are you kidding me? I had to fight myself to not put this song in. I was like, this, but it's just because it's so recognized. It might be the most recognizable song of the year because other songs you might not think of as like, oh, that's just 80s or that's just this or early 80s. This song, like when you think of like the 80s songs, this is like a top 5 with a bullet 80s song.
I don't think so. And I think I famously used this to make fun of you in your Rossi roast where I said the Baja Man, Tony Basil, and another one-hit wonder have more hits than your YouTube channel.
Welcome aboard.
But I don't know. This one, the video's kind of funny, but it's not.
Kind of funny. Iconic.
It's I guess, video. But to me, it's not. It's like, this is the shitty part of the 80s that my mom probably hated. Like, this to me isn't one of the one-hit wonders I embrace. Sorry.
That's okay. Now I'm a little sad, but that's okay because I'll listen to it after, clap along, and know that Mickey is so fine. All right, Bill, so we both have 3 left before we get to our final. You have 2 left, technically. Let me just do one more then to even it off, so we both have 2. Men Without Hats, The Safety Dance. Oh. Come on. Like, the goofiest song maybe ever created. Stupidest song maybe ever created as well.
I don't know if it's the stupidest song. And there's 2 different versions. Like the version that you will normally get on a Spotify or an Apple Music is a little bit slower, but the music video version, and I've actually combined them into the perfect fusion of the SSSSAAAFFFFTTTTEEEY, and then like the more upbeat music video version, way better song.
Oh my god, with the extra fiddle.
Yes. It's like a higher tempo or something. It's a way better version of the song. I fucking love this song. I can't believe I didn't have it on my list, but I think I might have missed it going through the list.
Well, because honestly, the 100 songs on that list, again, we're talking about the Billboard 100 from 1983. It's full of bangers. Like Journey, Worlds Apart. I didn't even put on this, and I just saw it like 10 minutes before we started. I'm like, that song is insane. I'm not Worlds Apart. What is it called? Separate Ways. Sorry. Like, insane. Yeah, it's in the quotes. But like, insanely badass song. Like Journey. I think that's my favorite Journey song. I think is the best Journey song. I don't always put those together. But anyways, that didn't even make our list. But why don't you go with your final 2, and then I'll give you mine.
It might make the list. So I will go with Africa by Toto. I don't think it's close to the best Africa song. I think Hold the Line is the best one. But for some reason, people embrace this song as like ending bar night type song when I was in college. So this would always play like last or second to last when they were closing down a bar when I was like 2006 or 7. Really weird. It's a great song. I think it's a little bit of a cliche song at this point, but it still rocks. Toto is fucking awesome. And kind of related to this one, my next song is Michael. Oh.
Can I just say, I don't like that song. I think Toto by Africa sucks.
I actually like it. I think it
Africa
deserves...
by Toto. I said it wrong.
Crank it up to Toto.
Yeah, I think people... I get, like, it's a fun song, a karaoke, but I just never liked it. I think it's just bland. Like, it's just, like, there, but whatever. I don't think the song moves enough. It's literally the most, like, boringly paced song ever created.
I agree with you. It's not the best Toto song. I already told you Rosanna. Well, Rosanna is also better, and Hold the Line's better. I do think it deserves credit, though, just because it's kind of become a cult classic, if you will, for the 80s of the music variety, I guess, if you were going to call Tommy Boy a cult classic and all those other ones.
It's not a cult classic. Don't do that. It's a cult classic song. For some reason, it was like the ending. No. It was like the end of the night song in like the early 2000s. It's a top 100 song from the year. It's not a cult classic song.
All right.
Classic. And I just blew the whole fucking thing.
All right. But as Davey pointed out in our chat, and I didn't know this, obviously, Van Halen does the solo, the guitar in Beat It. Oh, yeah. But Toto is the 80s band that is playing the rest of it in there, I guess. And, you know, a lot of these artists who were like, you know, solo artists like Madonna, I don't know who her band was in the 80s, but whoever the fuck it was, rocked. And, Michael Jackson was the ridiculous voice, obviously. And I just think, it's a greatly composed pop song. It's just fire all the way through, the way it starts, the way it ends. It's just a slamming ass song.
Yeah, my thing, and I'll be honest, I don't want to say I'm persuaded. I am just not a Michael Jackson fan anymore.
I don't blame you, and I think he's a terrible person. And I always said that Janet, I actually liked her music a little bit.
Yeah, anybody who shows the nip, come on. No, but in all honesty, Michael Jackson, horrible person. Can't listen to his music ever again. Discredit all of his music. Like what the WWE did with Chris Benoit, I've done to Michael Jackson. But I completely understand. Listen, this song is incredible. It's the blend of rock and pop put together.
I mean, that riff is unreal. Yes. And then you get the Weird Al one with like the fart sounds.
I completely agree with you there. My last two, Bill, if this doesn't sum up 1983 in 2 songs, I don't know what does. Styx, horrible band. Mr. Roboto, awesome song.
I hate this song.
Oh, really? So this is like
Renegade is my Styx song.
Oh, don't get me wrong. But this song, ever since I was a kid, Kilroy. Anyways, I just think this song is fantastic. Again, total 80s vibe. Reminds me of Short Circuit. Reminds me of like just being a kid. It was in like a lot of like TV and stuff like that, and during like early 90s, late 80s, whenever there's a reference to that time. Obviously, like 80s is right now like the nostalgia porn era of time, so everyone's kind of like looking back and watching movies from the 80s or stuff. So Styx, you get a lot of those retrospectives. Obviously, huge in the 70s, but in the 80s they had Mr. Roboto, and for me, the song that I would defy anybody who probably not as popular, but defy anybody to listen to the song and not be like, this was 83. It just sounds so progressive, sounds so enhanced. It's Thomas Dolby, She Blinded Me with Science, which I almost put on my top 2, and I just didn't think it would get the votes. So that's honestly half the reason why. But this song is insanely like if you like the Cars, if you like Weezer, which Weezer is the official band of the Pop Culture Pile Driver. These bands were absolutely influenced from the Cars were before, but what the Cars turned into later in the 80s. Listen to anything from like 86 on. Thomas Dolby's introduction of all that gizmo and gadget sound into music and using like people speaking in it, like that. She blinded me with science.
Science. One of the greatest psych reference of all time. The boss says like, you guys are blinded by this like theory or whatever. And he's like, the only thing we're blinded by, and he points to his partner, science. So it's, a sticking pop culture type of reference. It's a very good song. I can't believe this was almost in your final few though, and Bill, Tony Basil as well.
Those were the 2, just so you know. I fought with myself. Those were the 2 originally in, because I'm like, those 2 songs are so 80s. Like you smell it. When you smell the 80s, you smell Tony Basil's cheerleader dress, and you see the over-the-top makeup. But let's go 1 for 1 here, as now it's time, Bill, to nominate a song. So our diehard fans, our appreciative fans, our hashtag DorksharedGooniverse will all be a part of this vote. Bill, what is the first song you're nominating? Please be the one that I absolutely blew, because I swear to God it wasn't on there earlier.
Yeah, Separate Ways by Journey.
Was that there earlier?
Yes.
Oh, I blew that. That is all me. That is blowing up the whole pod.
This song is a phenomenal song. I love it. Just the din-a-new, the way it starts. Steve Perry, the way he sings. And by the way, the dude who's taken over for Steve Perry, what a life he lives.
The Filipino guy.
Oh, just amazing. A karaoke. Like, if you could, like, pick a life to lead, I would do that. Like, I think that's what
our guy Shine Time, that's like his goal in life, I think.
Please, let it happen for him, then.
Yeah.
Let him get the Truly sponsorship. Let him get that for the band that he loves most. Because what a life to lead, to get to sing Journey songs as your fucking career and be a megastar. This song is awesome. I once cut a montage, by the way, to Wes Welker coming back to the Patriots when we were allowed to use songs on TV for a little bit on NBC, and I lobbied for this. I was like, it makes perfect sense. He's coming back to the Patriots. He left Tom Brady. I was like, let me do it. It was a phenomenal montage. The only other montage I need to cut for like mass display is I need to cut to something by ABBA. That would be my dream. But this song, just the way that it starts, and all of these songs in the 80s, I don't know if it's just 83. We'll, do other years and kind of figure it out. But every song, like the way that, Far From Over starts, my other song that I'm going to nominate, so many of them have like interesting, just like hook you in beginnings. And like the beginning of this song fucking like lets you know it's going to be a
banger. You're for a ride.
You're in for a fucking journey. Literally. I didn't even mean to do that.
So one thing I know about this era in music, late 70s started, they did more ramp up time for radio. So DJs could talk over the intro to songs and get you right into it.
The post.
Exactly. Hit the post, but I like it either way. You can stick a post anytime you like, but it's just it was like the big thing that happened, especially in the 80s. You see it, 90s was full of them. Even if they weren't, these ones were with enthusiasm. So record labels started producing songs and they were radio edits. This is where the era of radio edits began because they wanted longer ramp time because they wanted DJs to speak. So this was a time when people wanted to hear DJs. So people thought, and they said, okay, let them talk into the song so that it just fluidly goes into one another. But yeah, that's a banger of a track. I absolutely crapped all over your pick, Bill, and I didn't mean to earlier. I stepped on it and crap on it. So let's go. For me, the first one I'll put in is Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. This song, her too. This song, is it Tyler? How is it Taylor?
I don't know.
T-Y? Ty? Anyways, the song is awesome. The song is so many epic journey you go on. This song is a ride. This song makes you happy. This song is just, there's so much going on. It's romantic. It could be a wedding song if you wanted, but it is just, there's just so much. It's literally like the female Meatloaf in a sense. And I'm not.
It was literally a wedding song in one of the, for the damn band.
Yeah, well, it's true. But this song is just so good. The way she sings it, the drama that she brings to it. This is a song that, I don't know. It encapsulates you. Yeah, it just so, like, it sucks you in. Yes, it sucks you right in. You're on the journey from the first chord. It rocks. There's heavy guitar riffs. There's the nice piano ballad. It has everything you need in a song. Beautifully sang. Bonnie Tyler Taylor and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. All teaming up. This song is just so 80s, reeks of it. And if you think of a song from 1983 and you just pluck and again, this song I thought was later, but 1983 it was. I will nominate Total Eclipse of the Heart.
It's a beautiful song. I totally agree. I was on the bike ride today listening to Nothing But This, like 1983. And when this one comes on, you're pumping the pedals a little bit harder. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be disappointed by my next one, but it's my personal favorite from this year. When I saw the list, I was like, can I put this in my top 2? And then I was at the gym. I was walking a little harder, running a little harder on the treadmill. Today, those pedals were pumping extra hard. It is fucking Michael Sembello, or however the hell you say it, Maniac. When I hear this song, it gets me going. And I like a song that goes all the way. I remember one night I was driving around, flicking around the stations with our buddy Joe Benevento. Always giving him a ride everywhere. But I was like, I need a song that just gets out there, that just gets into it. And this song came on, and I was like, all right, this is the one. This song, just from the moment go, phenomenal. Like the video that's playing behind me right now, it's kind of like that Kanye West song Fade, and me and West talked this about a little bit. Nice. It's basically the same principle for the music video. It's just a beautiful girl, scantily clad, dancing. This song has just such like a phenomenal heartbeat to it that just carries the whole thing. And I am just a Steel Town girl on a Saturday night looking for the fight of my life, so I can relate to it in a big time way. It's just a pulse pounding banger. It should be on every jock jams. It should be on every workout mix that you have. I'm telling you, the next time you do a run, a walk, anything athletic, put this on. If you don't pump up the dial a little bit or run a little harder, you have no heart.
Well, also Flashdance, we were going to talk about, was a high song, but the movie had a soundtrack that would destroy. It was amazing, including the song you mentioned here, Maniac. So, Bill, you put in Maniac is your second choice. For me, the second one, my absolute, I don't want to say that. I was about to say my absolute favorite 80s song. I think it is, actually. I have to really narrow it down. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. Now, me and Fryer have
I was just gonna say.
But it's weird. The past week has been
like kindred spirits.
Fryer's girlfriend thinks I'm funny. My cat laughs at Fryer's jokes when I listen to podcasts out loud, and we both agree that "Come On, Eileen" is absolute smash. It is a song, and I know we're in the middle of pandemic. You're not having a big parties right now, but next gathering you're able to have, and you're trying to figure out. You're scratching your head, going, "All right, what's the song I'm going to put on to kind of just warm everybody up?" But even the beginning, just a din 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 din.
Again, the beginning of these songs. I used to put this on at the Good Times Emporium in Somerville, where I had my car broken into several times. I would put this on. Also, I would put Will in the Sky on. another Journey song, and I would literally like skip around the whole place listening to the song because it was just like that. It's like a skipping song.
It's an excellent song.
So much fun.
Another song that has so many journeys to go on. It starts off kind of like an Irish ballad, turns into a rock song, turns into a clap along. But it is the perfect song to start if you have a family gathering, friends. I used to do a ton of events at bars, and whenever we were in control of the music, I said, all right, the first song, we want to get people like socialize and start talking and feel warm up. Put the song on. People are like, you're crazy. It's 2000 and whatever it was, like 10 years, 6 years ago. People are like, it's 2014. People aren't going to love it. You click play on Dexy's Midnight Runners, and next thing you know, the whole place will be angelically talking, and everyone will be having themselves a great time. So that's my second song.
This is a little bit later than probably would call for a Guardians soundtrack type song. But this has that feel of a Guardians song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Like Guardians 3, save it.
You're a fine girl, Brandy. It's that kind of a feel where if you hear this song, everyone fucking likes this song.
Yeah, and everybody at least knows it. So
it was also in Tommy Boy.
It was. Well, listen, Tommy Boy, maybe this 11 out of 11 I've been trying to talk about, talking myself back. I love music. Music's my favorite thing. It was
one of the better first movies that used popular music. I was just going to say. Kind of diegetic. Not necessarily diegetic. It wasn't like, Grease or anything, but like the songs played a huge role in the movie, including Maniac, which was
also in our jukebox. So, Bill, to wrap it up, people will vote on who will enter the 1983 jukebox. Will it be one of Bill's choices of Maniac by Michael Cimbello, or will it be Separate Ways by Journey, or my choices of Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners, or Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler? Or Taylor. I think it's Tyler. So what you'll be able to vote, we'll put that vote up shortly. Bill, if you had to guess right now, who's going to win? I don't know. It's
just tough. I think a lot of people are going to say we didn't nominate the best songs.
I don't care what they say.
I don't either. But this is tough. I would say Dexy's Midnight Runners might have a you might win something here. You might win something for once.
Oh, I might win a vote. I think Dexy's Midnight Runners, just by the sheer popularity of it as well. I'm
just going to preach to people. Go out. Do something. No. Go out and listen to Maniac doing anything athletic, and you'll up your game. You'll just.
How about this? Listen to all 4 songs. When we put the poll up, I'll put YouTube videos to them so you guys can check them out. But that's going to wrap it up for the 1983 nominations and music conversation. Bill, now let's get into this week in the Dorkshire Gooniverse.
Oh my God, you got lambasted is the only way to put it, and you always do. Keith even said like you have the hide of an elephant. You have the thickest skin, and when you hear this, you're going to need it because they destroyed you. And when you said ostrich, they took, attack at your ostrich take, which I also took offense to too. And you told me that they kind of fly. And I was like, do they fly? They are a flightless bird.
Yeah. Can I be honest? If I go back, I was answering the question off the top of my head, and I just thought, man, I love watching ostrich fly around. And I get you. They like scoot off the ground. They're like a baby bird. And if I really had to sit down and think longer, probably wouldn't have came up with ostrich, but I stand by it. Ostriches are pretty badass. Like I said, they stick their head in the sand. They avoid conflicts when needed. And also, I love them in Mario 2. That frigging character in Mario 2, when he's scooting around, that was my love for ostrich. 1992, when that game came into my life, I've loved ostrich ever since. If I had to go back.
It's really funny, too, because Keith was like, maybe he wants to be an ostrich so he can stick his head
up his ass. I listened to this. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, one other thing, because I actually talked about it with a buddy of ours that you hung out with probably 2 nights ago. Keith was like, I think Davey asked him, does Rossi do this on purpose? And Keith was like, I've been thinking about that for years, but I don't think so. And then Kevin was like, you guys are killing the podcast game, but Rossi's takes. And he said, like, I don't think people realize that, like, he's not doing this on purpose. This is just like his natural
Never will. I never will, because that's the thing. And I told you this when they started this segment. Don't ever, if you hear me going somewhere, don't say, oh, they're going to use that, because then it's going to get in my head. When I hear them about to, sometimes I'm like, they're not going to have anything. Like, they're not going to do the segment. They're not going to have anything to do. And then I heard this one, literally, it was me. This is this morning. We listened to it this morning. I told my wife, because she laughs at it. So it was me, my son, my wife, and my cat all huddled around. He's giggling his butt off, and he's a pretty cherry little guy. But it was so funny when he's like, Rossi is whatever ostrich, he's dumb, and all this stuff. And my son just going ha ha, and I'm like, this kid, my son's laughing at me, and he's 8 months old. But no, it's good.
It was
stuff.
so good. It was.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
didn't know. I thought something from the candy, maybe. I was thinking, I don't know where they're gonna go.
I thought it was gonna be the limoncello. If I had to put money on anything, it was gonna be the limoncello.
Yeah, limoncello was a little bit of a stretch. That's probably the only good lemon product, but nonetheless. Bill, what else is going on? What are people doing on their pods?
Just quickly, best for Davey was Billie Jean. Favorite was Heart to Heart by Kenny Loggins, which we didn't even mention, but that's not my favorite K-Log song by a huge margin. I like all of the other, mainly popular ones. I listened to that on the bike ride just to kind of give it some credit. Very good. Very good. Sleeper was Kajagu. I think Dr. Joe was Hall & Oates. And then for J Mac, Fleetwood Mac, Mr. Mac from Mac and Goo. Honestly, I haven't drank a lot probably in the last 3 weeks, and this is my first drink, and I'm probably a little tipsy. His Mount Rushmore, I don't know what a Mount Rushmore is, but Billie Jean, Faithfully, I'm Still Standing, and Sweet Dreams. By the way, the Stevie Nicks song that was in there, I forget the name off the top of my head, but that's a banger as well.
Oh, and then, what about the pods? What are those other?
Probably one more. Wes was.
Wes said.
Wes said Rock the Casbah. Nice. Come On Eileen for both, I think, Shime and what's his name?
Fryer.
All right, so do you know what's going on in the Dork Shared Universe?
I sure do, Bill. Dork did the DC Fandom, so did another podcast, but I'll let you figure out which one that is in a second. Change My Mind did the Dark Knight. Also has like a 17 questionnaire at the end of their podcast, so when you listen to that, then they have literally a plethora of awards for that one. So I voted on a few, but then I'm like, I need to listen to hear what they mean by some of these other ones. Also, Dr. Joe and Fryer do the TLDR. Don't know what it stands for. It's about comic books. If you're into comic books, check that stuff out. They stream it. I know the streamers out there have been playing a lot of PGA. There's the Marvel out there. And Bill, do you know what Mac and Goo did this week?
I think they did the Aliens 1985 review.
Okay, I think so. I think you're right. They also may have talked a little bit about the DC Fandom as well, which everyone's going crazy for. Batman looks awesome.
Oh, that trailer gave me legit mini chills.
Chills. Keith had some crass words to say about what happened when he saw the trailer. But I will say this: he also said that he believes Robert Pattinson's going to be the best Batman. I think that is.
I don't think that's bad.
That's the most hype. That's a recency bias Billy take, in my opinion. You saw literally 2 minutes of a trailer that didn't show you anything of him acting.
I really think he could be very good because I was against
very good's fine, but to say he's going to be the best,
I'm not totally against it because
I'm not against it.
I really like Robert Pattinson, and I also kind of like his "I don't have to bulk up to be Batman" take. I kind of think that's funny.
But you know what? He's going to be so shredded. I bet. He doesn't bulk up, but he's going to be shredded. I just love the scene. I think Davey pointed it out when the mask comes off and he's got the crazy hair, and they're playing Nirvana.
Such a
Something
great
in the Way.
Yeah.
They just playing the music of it. It's not a hit. It's a song you probably never heard, but it just fits this dark tone so well. They didn't go with something modern. I love the call. Matt Reeves, genius, worked with Lost, worked on Cloverfield, maybe the greatest movie of all time. But just incredible stuff from them. Also, some of the video games, good stuff for DC. You want to see DC do well. But that's
I'm telling you, they need to sprinkle that Harley Quinn dust over everything. And one final thing, that was Stevie Nicks' Stand Back, and then just a couple other quick ones. I'll Tumble For You was also this year.
Billy Madison. Dun, 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 Bill, we have an exciting month ahead. We got
Should
some
we tease it a little bit?
There's other podcasts I think listen to us, by the way, and steal our ideas, but it's a story for another time. I'm putting it on here. I see you out there. But I will say this. We'll tease a little bit. But next month, we are going to be teaming up with everybody in the hashtag DorkSharedGooniverse.
If they allow us.
Well, they've all agreed.
Oh, really?
They've all. I didn't copy on every single one, I think. I know you have access to the. Yeah, sorry. I was banging them out yesterday. Everyone's agreed, Bill, and it's different teams. So you will not get Mac and Goo.
It's mixed doubles.
Yeah, you will not get the boys Fryer and West together from Change My Mind. You will not get Davey and Keith together. We're going to be smashing them, maxing them, and we're also including our guys Shime and Doc, our streamers, our Twitch affiliates. They're all going to be involved in different podcasts, and it's all going to start next week. Also, we're going to do a special podcast for the wrestling demographic that we do here with, we used to say, take a drink. I'm going to be blitzed if we have to say their name every time. But all jokes aside, the Jobber Knocker, we'll be doing a wrestling tier list with them we'll get to. So next month, starting literally September, all of September, it's the Pop Culture Pile Driver Sweeps Month. So we'll be featuring podcast favorites from all of your favorite Dorkshire Gooniverse outlets. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm so looking forward to it.
Podcast favorites and Fryer?
You said I did.
I love Fryer. I figured you would do something like that, though.
No. See, I'll only bring the beef when I need to. I don't want to force it. Too long didn't read. Dr. Joe jumps in the chat. TLDR, too long didn't read. All about comics. Love that, Dr. Joe. You couldn't have came in at a better time. Bill, any final thoughts?
No.
Good. We'll catch you all next week. Frank says hi.